Yeah, Mike, I'm out in front of the Aurora testing site, which just closed moments ago. But before they shut their gates, there were hundreds of cars lined up throughout the day to make sure that those people inside those vehicles got their tests. But the pathologist I spoke with today says testing is just one small piece of this equation. There are few things in life that are worse than waiting in line. Something that may be worse is this, getting your nose swabbed.
If we don't have testing data, we don't really have a good understanding of how we're doing overall.
Dr. Alex Greninger is with UW Medicine. He spends his days in the lab evaluating samples that come in from testing sites.
Delta is basically the virus everywhere. It's like, almost basically 99% of the viruses here in Western Washington and Washington State. And it's like that across most of the United States and across the world, honestly.
The team at UW Medicine is able to determine that by working with our State Department of Health and the CDC.
We sequence, every sample that we can. And then upload that and share that to databases so people can see, how the virus is changing.
Here's how that works. You get swabbed, the test comes back positive. For most tests, that's where it ends. You're either positive or you're negative. But for some samples here in Western Washington, that journey continues. But the sample is stripped of any information. Now continued testing will determine variants. That requires an extensive computer system in a lab to ingest the specimen and perform DNA sequencing. Then a researcher will interpret that computerized sequencing to confirm the variant.
We got to keep monitoring that. And the United States and Washington State especially has done a fantastic job on that.
So when should you get tested?
If you're feeling, symptoms of cough, fever, especially if you have anosmia, if you can't smell things or taste things, then that's a great reason to get tested. It really is how we understand what's going on.
Dr. Greninger says you should also get tested 3 days after you've been exposed to someone with COVID. However, he says vaccines are still the best line of defense.
I know we can talk about testing and masking and all those things are great. It's part of a complete breakfast, but vaccination is it is the most important thing.
If you need to get a COVID test yourself and don't know where to go, just text the word TEST to 206-448-4545 and we'll send a link right to your phone. In North Seattle tonight, Steve Solis, King 5 News.